Well, this week, are you in luck, America? We have with us not once, but twice this week, Dr. Robert Heineman. I've asked him to come in on this Wednesday because there's something funny going on in Washington, D.C., and he's going to help us understand it. Stay tuned, America.
Next on News Talk, AM 1480 WLEA, the Newsmaker Show with Kevin Doran.
You know, Dr. Bob Heineman, a Belford University professor of political science, lecturer, author, book reviewer.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
Other things.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to join you.
Join me. You're the guy with the answers.
For multiple times during the week.
Hey, listen, the American people demand it, Bob.
Well, I think you may be describing our audience in a little more general terms than what it is, but they're all good Americans.
They're the best, Bob. They're real patriots. All right, now listen. Heineman, right? Listen, Dr. Heineman.
Yes.
There is something strange going on.
Yes.
And I'm going to just try to outline it here, but I'm not sure I'm going to have the full picture.
Well, I'm not sure how helpful I can be, Kevin.
Well, then what are you doing here? Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Last week, the Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is that what it is, Joint Chiefs of Staff? Yeah. Martin Dempsey of the U.S. Army, described ISIS or ISIL. I wish they'd come up with one name and live with it.
We'll go with ISIS.
All right, ISIS.
Pick the name. I hope they don't behead any of us. But
no, not soon anyway. Or if they're going to do it, you know what I mean? If they're going to do it with a guillotine or do it with a good sword. Don't do it with a pocket knife.
All right, Kevin, please.
All right. Last week, the Secretary of Defense and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs described ISIS in the most damning terms, and they seem to indicate the USA faced its worst enemy, worse than Al-Qaeda, worse than before 9/11. Then the president tore himself away from his vacation, came back to Washington, as you would say, and the boys had to walk it back. Now, you may remember in a private conversation...
Hold it just a moment. You mean by walk it back, you mean they had to do what?
Well, they had to say, well, we didn't mean it as badly as it sounded. I mean, things aren't quite that bad.
So it's not cataclysmic.
Not anymore. It was on Friday, but it's not on Saturday.
I see.
You got
it? Okay, yeah.
Okay, and when the boss gets back, the cats can't keep playing. But it was my impression...
I think it's the mice that play, but that's all right.
Oh, that's right, yeah. When the cat's away, the mice play. That's it. Okay, anyway, now you got me confused. Let me see.
So, at any rate, the president came back, and they backed off.
They had to back off, right.
Rather strong statements, yes.
Right. Now, here's the point that I made with you on the telephone, as you may recall, is that I can't think of a time when the cabinet went off by itself, members of the cabinet. John Kerry also said some rather strong things. It's almost as if they're beginning to realize that this guy isn't with it. He's not up to it. This guy being a Barack Hussein
I think they're worried that he's not up to it, yes.
All right, what can you shed on this?
Well, I don't know that I can shed much light specifically, but I do know that last week or 2 weeks ago, the Democrats met with President Obama and in order to lay out some strategy, and I don't recall exactly what he wanted to talk to him, but Harry Reid wanted to talk to him about these ambassadorships that have been held up in the Senate because of the Republicans, et cetera. Now, these are political appointees, and usually they're big contributors to the party.
Yeah. And, dumb or not, they usually...
Oh, yeah. But in any case... Obama said to Reid, he said, well, you work it out. I don't want to be bothered with this. I mean, and Reid just went up the wall. So not only does he have the public at large wondering where he stands and what he's going to do, he has his own party in the Senate kind of fumbling around looking for his help. And so there is increasing concern about the man's just sort of isolation, his unwillingness to broach or deal directly with any kind of problem.
Any unpleasantness.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's unpleasantness, but problems that need to be dealt with and dealt with definitively. And, of course, the concern is that he's going to start issuing executive orders. Now, the bigger concern there, I think, is this role of Valerie Jarrett, which is really getting to be very scary.
Because I'm not sure anyone even knows who she is.
Right,
Yeah.
and her background
running
is,
the
to
country.
put it rudimentary, to put it mildly. So there's this fear that he's going to start issuing executive orders. Now, in that respect, I'm not certain that he's going to be able to. He's going to want to tangle with some of these issues in any case. But it would be a good, I think, point for the Republicans to argue that the country needs a Republican Senate and a Republican House of Representatives, basically to put a stop to this kind of issuing of executive orders. So we'll see. I don't know whether he will or not. I guess the concern is immigration. Somehow he's going to come in and issue an amnesty, a general amnesty.
Well, why not? I mean, they're coming across the border any which way they want.
Well, I want to say this, and I want to share this with you and our listeners, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
There was an article, a short little article in the Wall Street Journal, I'm thinking maybe last Saturday, maybe, on energy policy. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you following me,
I'm
Kevin?
with you
This
so
gets-
far.
Okay. And the fact is that we've been pouring energy, natural gas and such, making it available to the Mexicans from our shale development. And the fact is that it's lowered the cost of production in Mexico something like 37%, so that Mexico can now produce goods cheaper than China. And the result is, and the trend is, that companies like Samsung and others are in fact building big plants in Mexico because it's cheaper for them to produce there than in China or in this country. Now, how's that going to affect the immigration issue?
Let me see if I can work my way through this, Bob.
Would you please, Kevin?
Well, maybe they'll stay home in Mexico.
Exactly.
Yeah, but these
Exactly.
people that are coming across now are not from Mexico.
Well,
They're
I
from
don't
farther
care.
down.
Mexico will put the stops to that for us.
Oh, the Mexicans are a bunch
No,
of crooks.
no, that's
The
just-
whole country
that's
is crooked.
outrageous, a
It
remark.
is,
That's
Bob. It's a
totally outrageous.
fact. It has been since the
fact is
1915.
that this energy situation will undercut the immigration problem, and frankly, I think you're going to find it really begin to dribble away.
Well,
And so he can issue amnesty if he wants.
good
Again,
Democrat
and
voters.
He may, I'm
Good
not
Democrat
sure.
voters, Bob. That's
But
what they want.
other areas, I'm not sure. Environmental issues, things of that sort.
Well, listen,
very hard to tell.
Here's why George Washington and I have always had a distrust of the two-party system or any party system. You've got these people in Washington like Harry Reid. Now, Harry Reid's not as dumb as he may sound on TV. Is he a patriot? I think he's a Democrat first. He's a partisan first. And there are guys on the Republican side the same way. What a shame it is that we don't have among those 535 people who put the country first and the party second. And they could get together and say, look, we made a mistake. The people made a mistake when they elected this guy. He wasn't up to the job to begin with, but now he's kind of mentally retired from the job, which is what you just said a few minutes ago.
I think, he's
he
removed
has.
himself from the day-to-day
Not-
serious problems that should be
And,
dealt
and,
with.
and what he's doing is really stupid. I mean, going out there, playing golf 5 minutes after he apparently is just heartbroken by this killing of the Foley kid. Well, he wasn't a kid, the Foley man from New Hampshire. The guy, I don't know. Like,
That
he's
was certainly one of the biggest
one of the
faux pas I've
dummest things. But he
I've
doesn't
ever
seem to
seen.
care. He doesn't seem to care. And listen, you think he stopped? No. He's off on more fundraising. That's what he likes to do: fundraising and golf. He doesn't care about the
Yeah,
other
I
stuff.
guess it is true. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of fundraising, where are you going to be? You're going to be among people who are
Cheering for him.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and pleasant. Talk to them,
Yeah.
chat.
As Charles Krauthammer says so much, and he's a psychiatrist. The guy is a total narcissist. He and Bill Clinton thrive on applause.
Well, Clinton is a sociopath. I'm not certain Obama is. But, yeah, no, he, as a narcissist, he is more in that
what do you mean
approach.
sociopath Clinton?
Than, say, Clinton. I don't think Clinton has got quite the image of himself that Obama has. Obama has a self-image that is far above what anybody else would think. Clinton, I think, is actually kind of insecure in his image. I don't think there's any insecurity at all there in Obama.
I don't think he cares. Listen, I talked to a congressman once. I can't use his name. He said it's strictly off the record. But he said, I was in a meeting with the guy, and I'm going to tell you, he doesn't care. He's just not interested.
He's in his own world there. Yeah. So it's a pretty dangerous situation.
But my point is the damn Democrats will stick by their people.
No.
Wait a minute, and so will the Republicans. Where is the republic? Who cares about the nation?
Well, that is so simple-minded.
Well, it's not simple-minded.
It is simple-minded.
You calling me simple-minded? Is that what you're doing? I think it is. I think you're calling me simple-minded.
I'm trying to speak for the nation here, Kevin.
You mean the nation's against me now? Is that it?
Well, I think it is, yes. I think you're on the wrong side there.
Well, now, wait a minute, Bob. The two-party system is not from
simply,
God.
You make believe this sort of thing, and the fact, first and foremost, almost all those people, when they see the country in serious shape, and if they see the president really wandering off, they will step
into
forward.
La Land?
They
What's
will
he got to do?
step forward.
Who will? Who will?
They'll step forward.
Harry Reid?
Harry Reid will step forward.
Come on.
I don't know. I think we've
Some
seen
people
it.
say Harry's a crook, too, you know.
Well, you say everybody's a crook, Kevin.
Well,
so,
a lot of them are, Bob.
That fills that. But the other side of it is the idea of the republic. Well, what is the republic? What is a nation? What is a national interest? You're going to tell me, Kevin? Well, I'm sure you could define it for me here in the next 2 or 3 minutes. But
what?
Surprisingly, a lot of people would disagree with you.
On what?
What is the best interests of the nation?
Oh, yeah, I understand that. But I don't think anyone's going to...
So how are you going to get this idea?
I don't think anyone wants a president who's just kind of resigned mentally from the job.
I agree. Where'd you change? You've changed the subject on me.
No, I didn't. No,
I
think
thought we were talking about nasty partisanship.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous.
Yes. Well, that's politics, Kevin.
I know, but that doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's right.
That's how we work things out, Kevin.
Yeah, well, all right. Now, do you think there are some Democrats? I don't know any, but you think there's some Democrats who now realize Obama's not up to the job?
I think there are a lot of Democrats who realize that. Oh, yeah.
You know, the Democrats...
Democrats are just like the rest of us, Kevin.
They are?
Yes, they are, Kevin. And they're intelligent. They just have, unfortunately, somewhere in their background...
They're socialists.
Gone astray.
They're socialists.
But as terms of their ability to understand the situation and their patriotism, I think they're fine people.
Oh, geez. Are you running for office or something? Listen, Bob.
Yes, Kevin.
You know that the Democrats are probably going to hold on to the Senate.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yes, they are, Bob, and I'm going to tell you why.
Because your buddy, Mr. Sabuto, argues that there's
no
big wave.
No. Well, he's right. There is no big wave. But it all comes down to one little thing called marijuana.
Yes, they apparently have marijuana referenda on a number of the ballots.
And that will bring out the millennials, 71 million millennials. Those are people up to 29.
And they all want to smoke pot.
70% of them do.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, yeah, it is, but that's a fact. And if you say, okay, you elect the Democrats, we're all going to have legal pot, hooray, they'll go out and vote for them.
Wow, the whole country will be kind of floating down the street.
They'll be happy, but they won't know why.
Well, they'll be happy for a short time. I don't think the long-term happiness is...
You don't think it's in marijuana?
No, I think it is not. No, Kevin.
71 million.
It's in your spirit, Kevin.
There are 71 million millennials. They can all vote if they want to, and probably a lot of them, maybe most of them will.
No, this is not an unusual tactic. In the last elections, they put on referenda dealing with public unions and, the right to assess people and things of that sort. So there was one on the ballot in Michigan. I think there was one in the state of Washington.
But they lost, didn't they?
One or two of them did, yes, which was kind of surprising, actually. Mm-hmm. But the idea was you get the public employees out to vote Democrat, and thereby undercut the Republicans. So I can see what's going on there, but the idea that there's going to be a huge wave here supporting legalized marijuana, I just can't believe that that's out there.
Well, it is among the millennials, and there's 70 million, Bob. 70 million, think about it. And how long will it be, by the way, before these strong, God-fearing Republicans say, hey, you know, there's something to be said for legalized marijuana?
Well, there are Bill Buckley for
well, yeah, but
for
for different reasons. He had different reasons for that.
Felt that legalized drugs was okay.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing it to pick
I'm just
up
saying
votes.
there are Republicans and conservatives out there.
Yeah, I understand
right now
that.
Who,
but how long before the Republicans say, well, you know, there's a big vote there. Maybe we better rethink.
Well, Kevin, the whole idea is to get elected. And if the public
You don't see what I'm saying over and over and
I
over
do
again.
see it, and I think you're mistaken. That's the point I'm making. Do I have to make that much more clear here?
First duty of a politician is to get elected. Who
that's
said
correct.
that?
Why would it not be the first duty?
Who said that? Franklin
You've
Roosevelt.
said it many times.
Well, Franklin Roosevelt said it.
Well, you're copying Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah, first duty of a politician is to get elected.
Well, I mean, what good is a politician
even if you got to
if
throw
he's not
grandma
elected?
out the window, huh? What?
What good is a politician if he or she is
Why
not
don't you just
elected?
stop with what good is a politician?
Well, Kevin, again, I think you have a rather simple-minded view of democracy.
Boy, there goes that
I mean,
term.
if we were sitting in North Korea, I can understand your sentiments. Then we could do away with politics and partisanship, and we know where we could turn to get all the answers. It would be simple. Life
Kim
would be
Il
so
Jung.
much.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what his name is,
Yeah.
but the great leader. Yeah, yeah.
All right, Bob, I see you. I wanted you
I
on
don't
today.
know. We've gotten too far here, Kevin.
Well, I think we
I'm
have.
probably not going to be invited back many times.
Well,
during
I
the
don't
week.
know. I mean, calling me simple-minded not once but 3 times in one
Well,
program.
no, I think you just alluded to your simple-mindedness once or twice. I don't think I was direct.
That makes it 4, pal. All right. Now, let's just take a trip down presidential lane. How
Sure.
you like that? Okay.
Sure, Kevin.
I was talking to some active Republicans who are very, very excited about Rand Paul. I'm saying,
Yes.
you're crazy. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, you say that about all the Republican candidates. but
Well,
go
no,
ahead.
he's not going. He's not going to get the nomination. You know
I
that.
see.
Republicans aren't going to vote for a guy that says we don't want to do anything about ISIS. They're not going to vote for him. They got enough Democrats they can vote for that. So he won't get it.
So, okay.
The guy from Texas, well, I don't think there's anything to laugh about. I think he's showing leadership. But,
I do think here and there you can see some
yeah,
leadership there, yeah.
well, better than what we've got. But I don't see him getting elected. Jeb Bush will not run, I don't think. I know what you think, but he's not going to run. So who's that leave us?
Well, it doesn't leave us much.
Paul Ryan is a possibility.
It leaves you Mitt Romney.
I like Romney. I mean, the American people have got consumer regret.
Yes, that's true. But again, you know, there's not too many guys who ran and lost who turn around and then win. The only one I can think of right now off the top of my head is Nixon. And, of course, Nixon was out of politics for
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
Wasn't a long time. Well, he wasn't out of it. He was still in it. He just
running around, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there aren't many. William Jennings Bryan comes to mind. Ran and ran and ran. And Stevenson and Dewey and some of these others. So it's very hard, I think.
I don't think Romney will because I believe it when he says, you know, I've tried 3 times. I'm not going to do it again.
On the other hand, he could be drafted. I could see a situation.
Yeah, we could have
where
a deadlock.
a legitimate draft
Yeah.
and say, "Look, Mitt, you've got to step forward
Yeah.
and do it."
Would Mitt beat whoever the Democrats put up?
Well, that's the point I'm making.
He'd beat Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, and would he beat Hillary Clinton? I don't know.
Hillary Clinton will not be the nominee.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
think
believe
that-
it.
No, I agree. No,
She will not be the nominee.
I think the Republic, pardon me, the Clintons have so besmirched. Of course, again, I'm constantly amazed. I mean, when you got Reverend Sharpton as the key advisor to the Obama administration, you just have to shake your head and say,
better Jesse. Yeah.
Oh, and they're certainly a lot better than Jesse and Sharpton that you could be talking to.
Oh, sure.
But I do think this, Kevin. I think Michelle Obama and Valerie Jarrett have made their number one priority to prevent Hillary from getting the nomination.
And I don't think they have as much power as they think they have, but I don't think Hillary will get the nomination.
They got enough to slow Hillary down, I think.
Slow her down, no question about that, yeah. And she should be. I mean, the fact is the Clintons are, let's put it as, they're not simple-minded.
No.
Like I am. But they're crooks.
No,
they're crooks.
They're
know, crooks.
Let's put it this way. They certainly know how to game the system.
You betcha, buddy.
And I think... can we bring it? And again, here maybe I'm approaching your particular view of where's the nation, where's the national interest. Can we move away from this soap opera politics on to the big issues?
Well, we'll have to do
nation?
that Friday, pal, because our time is gone.
Because that's one of the problems with the Clintons. You're dealing with all this soap opera garbage that surrounds the Clintons, and so maybe that's the biggest flaw in the Clinton effort. They
she's
don't allow
a woman.
us to deal with.
B, she's a victim. A lot of the American people and the Democrats, they love her. Yeah, they love her.
You know, she's been rock poor.
Oh yeah, she left the White House broke, and that may be why they stole so much furniture. Huh?
She can identify with the poor and the poverty-stricken out there,
and she knows why people go around and pick up used furniture on the corner.
Right.
She took it out of the White House, but nevertheless,
wasn't sitting on the curb there on Pennsylvania Avenue. They stuck it in a truck.
That's right. Took it up to Chappaqua. Right.
Yeah,
well,
no, that's amazing.
I know it. It's amazing that she's even a contender. That's it for now, Bob.
Not only is she's inevitable, Kevin.
No, she's not. She's not going to be she's not going to be the nominee.
Well, why she get all those presidential suites in at the motel?
Well, that's a show in itself, Bob. But our time is gone.
Well, all right.
Are you more upset about her getting $300,000 plus for a speech, or Chelsea getting $75,000?
Well, I never really pay much attention to what other people make, Kevin. I'm paying more attention to what I make. And given the opportunity to be on this show so many times, frankly, I'm afraid I may move into another income bracket here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, no one's ever accused you.
Move up.
No one's ever accused you of being simple-minded. But don't think I'm going to hold on to that, Bob. Don't think I'm going to remember that.
Let it go. Let it wash away.
Baloney. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for news and information. I don't think you've had much here. Thank you, folks.